So, in this section, I was kind of excited about going to see this just because of the premise of the description. But it wasn't really referring to that as much in the presentation as I thought it would. But it was pretty much talking about a specific school in the district, Arlington ISD, and how they were tackling the issues that's going to be coming up in the STAR in these next few years. And it was basically giving a lot of statistics and how they have just kind of a warning about how this is going to be detrimental to the students coming up because of how it's now tied to their coursework, and if they don't get the course completed, then it'll affect when they can graduate. So basically, the main gist of it was that this year they went a little lower on the percentage needed to pass, but there's a goal up to 2016 that there needs to be a higher percentage to pass. And so there was about, a certain percentage, like, I don't know, in the 70s somewhere or maybe in the 60s, passing now, according to the standards set this year. But in the standards for 2016, only about 39% of students would pass that. And it went into the fact that if they don't pass it, then the next year they're in a remediation course over the summer, and then there's in their new course. And then, of course, if they're remediating for the previous course, how are they going to do well in the next course coming up, for a sophomore, for instance? So then as their sophomore year, they're going to have trouble getting past both of those tests. Well, then their junior year, they are going to get to be up to where they're taking 3 math classes, 1 full and then 2 remediation courses. And then their senior year, of course, if they had trouble passing the Algebra 1 EOC, then they're definitely going to have trouble passing the Algebra 2 EOC. And so their senior year, they have 4 math classes that they're taking remediation. How is that possible for a school district to handle? And how can we as teachers help in that effort to get them to a point where they can handle it all, and they can get to a point where they can be successful at it? And it was kind of scary, actually. I was amazed. I didn't even think about all the repercussions that failing those tests could cause. And that's just in math. What about all the other core subjects that the tests take place in? And he talked about how teachers and parents should start going to, if they're not happy with this prediction, it's just a prediction, but it's based on data from this year's STAR test, and that we should start going to our state representatives and start impressing upon them the importance of what this test is going to do to the students. And basically he was saying that if the trend continues from this year, that they're going to have to put on tracks of the minimum graduation plan versus the recommended graduation plan. And they're even possibly going to struggle with the minimum plans at most high schools. And so what is this going to do to our schools and to our students? And it was just thought-provoking, and it was based on the data from their school district. And it was definitely eye-opening. But as a new teacher, going into my second year teaching, I don't know much about all that stuff, and so it's hard to kind of know how I'm going to play in that mix. So we'll see how it goes. Appreciate you listening.